In my previous video, I said that we are headed towards another Pokemon crash, and I showed some data to prove my points, but I even have more today to share with you guys. So let's discuss it in today's video.
Cricket? Nobody understands cricket.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is VMax. If you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing and joining in at all the fun we have. And today we have some real fun if you are someone who's hoping for a Pokemon market crash, at least in terms of singles. Now, we're not seeing as much in terms of crashing for sealed product, but I do see prices softening on products like Journey Together and even maybe Destin Rivals. But we're going to discuss singles today, some really highly sought after singles that you would argue are like the staple for the sets that we're going to be discussing in today's video. So let's dive into some of these crazy price movements on TCG Player for some of these grail cards, these massive chase cards for sets like Pokemon 151. We're talking about grail of all grails for 151. It's the Charizard EX Special Illustration Rare. Now, this card has had wild price movements in the last 3 months, as you guys can tell. Near mint copies are 25.83% less than they were 3 months ago. Now it's sitting at $200.25. This card used to be around $300 US on TCG Player. What is going on with the price movement here? Now, you could argue it's still relatively expensive. Yes, it is, but Pokemon 151 in general is one of the more sought after sets from the Scarlet and Violet era, and this is the ultimate chase card from that set. So to see this card go down this much in price is, I would say, shocking, but will it lead to the prices of the sealed product going down? We shall see. Maybe we'll revisit that in like a video in a few weeks from now. So this is the Japanese version, which is interesting because the Japanese one was always pretty inexpensive compared to the English one, but because of the prices crashing so much, it's around the same price, $195, and it's only crashed 3.60%, so nowhere near the amount that the English card has actually crashed. So kind of crazy to see both of them around the same price. Usually Japanese cards are around like 60 to 70% of the value of the English cards, so it is interesting to see that they're around the same price right now. Now we're going to take a look at Rayquaza VMax, the alternate art secret rare from Evolving Skies. Now this card has lost 11.95% of its value over the last 3 months. It's still really expensive though, sitting at $708.16, but as you can see, it was sitting over $800 3 months ago. So what does this mean for Evolving Skies? Will we see some of the sealed product actually go down in price? I don't know. You know, you could argue that the singles, they do have some sort of price stability for the booster boxes and sealed product, and I do agree, and there's still some attrition that you have to take into consideration. Like, obviously, the more packs that get open, you're going to have less sealed product available. So I don't think it's going to make the sealed product necessarily crash, but I do think it's going to soften and maybe go down in price and could potentially lead to a Pokemon bear market in the next few months. Next up here is the Chilling Reign chase card, Blazakin VMax alternate art secret rare, and this card is down by 4.19% over the last 3 months. Nowhere near as bad as the Charizard. I think Charizard is the worst on today's list, but this card, it's sitting at $373. It used to be around $400 or more at one point for this card. So kind of crazy to see this card price go down, considering it is literally the chase card for Chilling Reign, which is a set that's been exploding in value over the last few months. Next, we got an Umbreon EX. This is the Prismatic Evolutions one, so it's relatively new, but we're seeing massive price declines of 24.96%, so let's call it 25% down. It's still pretty expensive though, at $1,163.28, but at one point it was over $1,200 or more. Actually, it was way more than that. We're sitting at close to $1,600 for this card's price. So crazy to see that a card that's as desirable as this, you know, from a set that's so sought after like Prismatic Evolution, we're still seeing scalpers go after this set, but to see the price go down, it could have something to do with the fact that there was an announcement about the Costco bundles for Prismatic Evolutions, where you get, I think, the two booster bundles and the ETB. Obviously, anything that shows up at Costco will get eaten up by scalpers for the most part, but it still is going to lead to more people opening product because you're getting it so cheap. So, why would you open the product if you're going to be spending it, over 3 times MSRP? But if you're going to get it for under MSRP, why not crack open some product to maybe chase this card? So that could be leading to this card's price going down as well. Now we're talking about the chase card from Paldean Fates, and that is the Bubble Mew. This card is down 15.90% over the last 3 months, sitting at $300, so it's still relatively expensive. But at one point, this card was about $400, so it has went down substantially. And over the last 3 months, it's actually had 309 of them sold, so still a decent amount of sales going on for this card, but it's still lost a lot of value over the last 3 months. Now we're going to take a look at another card from Evolving Skies. This is the second most expensive evolution from this set. It's Leafeon VMax, and it's down by 11.20% over the last 3 months, sitting at $395.87. At one point, this card was over $450, so it's lost quite a lot of value. I think it was even around $500 at one point over the last 12 months, so it's lost quite a substantial amount of value. Now the last card is a very popular Pokemon. It's the chase card from Fusion Strike. It is the Gengar VMax Alternate Art Secret Rare. It's down by 14.74% over the last 3 months, sitting at $582.81. Now it's still very expensive, but again, it was well over $600 at one point. So the price has been softening, which is interesting because we're seeing the price of Fusion Strike go up. So the fact that a lot of these singles are going down while the boxes have been going up really leads to interesting thought experiments. But I do think attrition is probably one of the main reasons why, you're getting, less sealed product if people are going to be cracking them for these singles because they're so expensive trying to chase them. But Fusion Strike was a horrible set to open up. Brutal pull rate, so I wouldn't, if you have a box of Fusion Strike, it's sitting at around 800 US right now. If you're looking for Gengar VMax and the price has been going down a lot over the last 3 months, I would say just bite the bullet and maybe pick it up now. It could go down even further though, but it is interesting to see a lot of these chase singles that were released in the last 5 years are tanking in value. Now leave your thoughts down below about this video subject and let me know your thoughts. Do you think the Pokemon market is crashing on singles, or do you think that this is just a blip and they'll go right back up? Leave your thoughts down below and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.